running?
Yes.
Did he make a comment about anybody else snitching? Or what would he do to him?
No.
Okay. Specifically, did he reference a female at some point?
Yeah, he said that bitch.
Okay. What did he say about that bitch?
He said the motherfucker snitched on me and come up missing like that bitch.
Okay. And when he was saying that bitch, did you know exactly at that point what he was referring to?
Not really at that moment.
Okay. Let's talk about the times you've seen Mac Minister before. When you've seen Mac Minister, have you ever seen him in the company of any females?
Yes.
Okay. And what kind of females were they?
Prostitutes.
Specifically, do you recall seeing a picture of one of those females at one point in time when the police talked to you?
Yes.
And you were able to pick that person out, saying you were 90% sure, but the hair was a little different.
Yes.
Describe for the court that female. Describe for her what she looked like.
She was white. She had fairly brownish, dirty blonde hair, long legs, nice figure, whatever.
At some point in time, the photograph.
Man, now y'all listen to this Waupi walk this motherfucker to that water like that. See how he leading him? If a motherfucker go get a picture of me with and white bitch, I'll drop my appeal. Go get a picture of me with a white bitch. I ain't never fucked around, don't fuck around. If it ain't a black, Latina, Asian, yeah, Puerto Rican, yeah. Nah, not Andre down. This nigga describing his hoe. This is the same number that he said that they found in his phone, and they called. That's how he got involved. You know, it's a preponderance of clear and convincing evidence that I'm bringing to you. They got in touch with him. They called his phone. This same white prostitute that he's describing, and that the prosecutor got him saying all this shit. Because let me share this with you. There's no way he could keep missing all these dates, and then they corrected him. Because first you saw me summer of 06 with the co-defendant. Now you finna say December of 05. And every date that he gave, he missed the motherfucking mark. Because either he was in jail, I was in jail, or me and the co-defendant was in jail at the same time. So what did they do? They wanted that bitch-ass nigga to testify so bad that they did something that they do not do in a court of law, nigga. Sever the case. You separated the case so that you could use Mouton's testimony, because if you try to do this shit while Sagis is on board, he ain't gonna let you do that. He wasn't compromised. He don't like the Giacomo's bitch ass. So the best thing for them to do was to separate the case so that he could testify and get away with it. Now mind you, when the trial started, because I'm going to play that trial testimony for you too, the Giacomo cleared that up. Let me take you back to the first testimony when you said summer 05, 06. Yeah, that was a mistake. Bitch, you didn't clear up that December 05. So I'm just going to leave it right there for right now.
At some point in time, the photograph... of course, I'm
Your Honor, I've got an objection. Can we approach it briefly?
The state's stuffing in there. Unrelated homicide case.
What?
It's an unrelated homicide case. Our guy's not been charged in this case.
Yes, uncharged crime of death of Lee Larson.
They have not addressed that.
What are we doing?
She's the witness. His indication. Just get there, Judge. And at some point you may decide it's not usable. But anytime there's a
we're going to trial.
Anytime there's a threat to a witness, it's admissible. This may be the basis of a Petrocelli hearing, but certainly the testimony needs to come out. Mr. Dow, when he learns about the indictment, kills this girl. and there's other evidence to suggest that.
He's
This
not
is-
charged with it. It has nothing to do with
I'm
them.
gonna let you go ahead, but I'm not making.
We're
By
gonna
doing
go
that, I'm not
with
making any ruling on admissibility because, as far as we go so far, this isn't admissible. His live testimony is going to be admissible, and
Right.
I'm not sure you're not getting far afield. But
Thank
I'm
you,
just
Judge.
going to let you go ahead and do it.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm going to show you what's marked as State's Proposed Exhibits 1, 2, and 3, and just let you look at the 3 pictures there. Does the girl depicted in State's Proposed Exhibits 1, 2, and 3 look familiar to you?
Yes.
Okay. How is it that she looks familiar to you?
From the color of the hair,
Okay. And who is it? Who in relationship to this conversation we're talking about?
can you repeat that?
Who is that person? This girl. How is it that you know her, or how is it that you recognize her?
It's a prostitute I recognized by the nickname of Mimi.
With the nickname of what?
Mimi.
Mimi. And when you say prostitute, who'd you see her around with?
Mac Minister.
Okay. Was she always with Mac Minister, or is there somebody else that she was associated with too?
Sometimes she was with another guy,
And do you know the other guy?
Corleone.
Corleone?
Now, this mother, first and foremost, you tell me, nigga that been in the game with nigga is sharing the hoe. Oh, listen to me one day, listen to the other pimp the next day. See how he is so recklessly trying to connect me with this shit? You got this nigga up here fabricating a script that they gave him. You sitting here talking this old stupid ass shit. She's a witness, bitch. If she a witness, how the fuck I'm gonna know she a witness? When I was incarcerated in San Francisco, they pulled her. I had a high-speed chase, July 12th. These motherfuckers take my bond in the bitch Kamala Harris. Let us be clear. Let's not let that hoe off the hook. That bitch had me at $1 million bond for a high speed in Frisco. Didn't crash, didn't hit nobody, I parked the car. I just got away. Bail were $1 million motherfucking dollars. They go get the same white girl with the bullshit, and she tell him, man, whatever the fuck she said as far as I don't know nothing about what's going on with him. He ain't connected to me in no shape, form, or fashion. They had to let me go. Nigga, I went from $1 million bond to an OR. So you can rest assured, if she had anything to say about me, there's no way I would have got out of jail. Now, however she got caught up in the game, that's the game, nigga. I don't got nothing to do with that. Shit happen to other black folks all the time in the game. So with all that said, you got this bitch-ass nigga sitting here giving a description of what he called his hoe. Because Corleone in jail. Now, this is the nigga she fucking with. Because when she died, they notified the pimp of his hoe being assassinated. You hear me? This is what they do. They call this nigga next to kin, the pimp. And then pivot off the nigga to me. And then basically threaten him. This is what we gonna do if you don't testify to this, that, and the third. Because anybody listening to this nigga, if a nigga know a little bit about the chop, nigga, I don't never speak on certain shit. It's certain shit that I never even talk about. I don't give a fuck if it's with my family. Man, I don't be speaking on nobody's business, especially some shit like that. So this nigga done came with this creative ass shit that this prosecutor done gave him. Just trying to throw me in the motherfucking trenches like that, and they pulled it off. It was a temporary setback for a legendary comeback. Yeah. It's all right, though. Because in the end, I'm going to win.
I want to go back to the comment about the bitch during this conversation you had with Mac Minister on December 5th, right?
Yes.
Okay. Specifically, what words did he use in reference to talking about the bitch?
He referred to that whoever was telling them would meet the same fate as her, that they'd come up missing.
And based upon this conversation, where do you go?
I go to the bar.
And when you get to the bar, who do you see?
Just some other dudes that was in town that was at the bar that he had just got done talking to.
And then after talking to them without telling us what was said, did you get an understanding in your mind what the conversation was about?
Yes.
I'm going to direct your attention to sometime in January of 06, you were arrested locally, correct?
Yes.
And that case is still outstanding, correct?
Yes.
And that case, your understanding is that case has absolutely nothing to do with your testimony here, correct?
Yes.
You haven't been offered or provided anything in that case?
No.
Are you hoping something happens with that case?
Yes.
At some point, you go to federal custody here from Las Vegas, correct?
Yes.
And ultimately, you enter a negotiation where you plead guilty to transporting an underage person for prostitution, correct?
Yes.
And based upon that, well, let me ask you this. Why are you testifying here?
Hopes of a reduction.
Are you concerned at all about testifying here?
Yes.
Why is that?
Fear for my safety when I'm released.
You know what a snitch jacket is?
Yes.
What's a snitch jacket?
It's a jacket somebody has in jail that came to court and testified against them.
It's not, well, it's a dangerous thing to do, correct?
Yes.
But you're still doing it anyways.
Yes.
Record should reflect that Mr. Pesci is also here on behalf of the state.
Nothing further, Judge.
Mr. Farron, cross?
Okay, let me let y'all, but now, you hear that, nigga? Okay, first of all, let's get into what the YOP doing. Does anybody offer you anything? Bitch, you know motherfucker well y'all promised him and told him some shit. But here's the cold part. He said that, why are you here testifying? He said a sentence reduction. Did I hear that clearly? He said a sentence reduction. That's a Napue, Illinois violation. See? You keep saying that you ain't making no problem, and then you keep telling yourself. Earlier, the judge telling on himself. Telling what it is. Because the federal court is like, look, if you don't provide certain things, if you don't put your DNA on this snitching, we ain't going to fuck with you. Because we don't know what you're going to do. So we ain't going to let you out of custody. They transport the nigga across state and county lines, knowingly, willingly put a fraud upon the court, gave him a script, and you see the prosecutor with all that leading, he's leading the shit out of him. But DeMarco couldn't get a lead when we was doing the motherfucking evidentiary hearing. And he had already, he's recanting. So why is it that we can't ask leading questions when he's recanting? But this whole process right here, trust me, this shit ain't nothing but a bunch of shenanigans. This is histrionics at its finest. This shit is a straight opera. The judge already knew he was going to let him say the shit that he said. All that shit is just excess verbiage. Excess verbiage. You know, motherfucker, well, when he approached him about allowing this testimony in to establish a murder from California, listen, all that's out of Stuart Bell's playbook. This is just the Giacomo, a rookie at doing the sucker shit that he been doing to black and brown folks for years. And it finally that caught up with his bitch ass. But just no other surety. They just did a Henry Napue violation. The boy said when he testified, why are you testifying? He said to get a sentence reduction. Okay? Y'all hear him slide that December the 5th date up in there. Now, mind you, this is an evidentiary hearing. This is August the 28th, 2007. I don't go to trial till July 17th, 2008. Now, again, he does this again at trial. So you did it twice. The baby know not to burn his hand twice. When the baby burned his hand, you say hot, you ain't got to even tell him no more. He know that's hot. You can't even tell him to put his hand on that, even when the iron is off. Look, the iron is off. Go ahead and touch that baby. No, it's hot. He ain't gonna let the same dog bite him twice, but this fucking dog just running around like Cujo. He just got rabies. He just biting folks. He just constantly coming with this foul-ass shit. December the 5th. There go another lie. You have
1 minute left.
First you had August, summer 06. Now he done walked him into December 05. December the 5th. December the 5th. He said December the 5th, but his thing was December 05. No, December the 5th doesn't sound like 05. Let us be clear with that. But every date that you gave has, for some reason, either I'm in jail or he in jail. And we know the prosecutor is going to read the transcripts before you go to trial. That's just part of your due diligence. When you go read all the transcripts, go over the testimony, come back, bring him. He already know what he testified to before. Look, you're going to testify to this because this is what was said. See how dirty these motherfuckers is? They got this nigga lying. Not only did they talk him into charging me with a double murder, they talked him.
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.
Does court mind if I approach?
Do anything you want. Except drink water. No, I'm just
Sorry, Anna.
Are you going to show him something? I'll come with you. If not, oh, okay.
Morning, Mr. Mouton. Thanks for coming down. Let me try to get a couple things straight here. You just testified that your first meeting with Mr. Dow was summer of 06?
Yes.
You were aware that
I think the record should reflect that that was his first time he bumped into him in Las Vegas. He had met him a number of times in San Francisco, but the first time relevant to why we're here.
Correct. My apologies. So the first time you saw Mr. Dow in Las Vegas, as you testified to, was summer 06.
Yes.
And you saw him with Mr. Mathis.
Yes.
Right? You pointed them both out in court.
Yes.
Were you aware that both these individuals were in custody in September of 06? Or in the summer of 06?
Objection, Judge. That's actually not true.
Yes, that is true.
One of them went to jail in July. The other one didn't go to jail until... Well, they both went to jail in July, so...
No, the defendant...
It's a misstatement of fact, not in evidence.
Well,
Here, the most new to the case, but since July of 05, solidly, he's
I'm
been
sorry.
incarcerated.
Yeah, now y'all see how this motherfucker just lied and say he saw us both summer 06, and then when they get caught up, the prosecutor, no, not true, Judge. It's in fact, if they both was in July, nah, the co-defendant was in jail summer 05. I came to jail March 6th. They caught up so motherfucking bad, and this judge, man, he trying to put fix it flat. And all I'm saying, at one point, you need new tires. You cannot just keep putting fix it flat on the same motherfucking tire. He done ran all of the motherfucking rubber out of that. We on rims now. But this is the shit that I'm talking about. All these motherfuckers is complicit to what he is doing. Nobody want to check it. They keep trying to fix it. He's committing perjury. He just gave perjured testimony, and now they want to seal the record so that I can't look at it. I gotta go by some shit that, and the dude, Eric Ferran, him right there that you see that's representing me, I didn't hire that bitch. This is his first time ever even fighting a criminal case. He's never fought a criminal case except, and the first one is a double murder that these motherfuckers appoint this bitch to represent me when I gave his law firm, Tony Scrow, $60,000. Motherfucker took my money, and he's not in court on this evidentiary hearing. That's so important. Listen to how they keep trying to fix it. The man is a liar. And then he lied so much. And then when you go into the December the 5th, that's another lie. You can't keep saying you made mistakes. What you gonna say? You made mistakes throughout this whole entire movement? Come on, man. Somebody got to do the right thing at one point. But you keep doing the right thing instead of the right thing. And then you don't want a motherfucker to expose this. That's why he up on the stand looking like he burning red. That's that demon, that lying demon in his ass, and he can't take that type of pressure. And again, when you look at this shit, look how Judge Bell, the judge right now that you're listening to, keep getting interrupted and trying to fix it. The man did a plea agreement 7/27/06. How in the fuck is he right now about to get a deal on what he say about me? That's what this is. It's a Napue violation. All right. Just so you know. Yeah. Okay.
If the date was wrong, he's been in jail since January of 06, so if the date was wrong, I apologize.
What is
Go ahead,
testimony?
Mr. Farron. Go ahead.
Okay, so Mr. Mouton, you met with detectives and your attorney sometime in September of 06. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
And presumably you met with them in the federal prison or the federal detention center in San Francisco?
Yes.
You've been in custody on, I believe the case is, it's actually the charge is sex trafficking of children. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So at the time you met with these detectives, did you already enter into a plea agreement?
No.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Here's a tricky thing. Just tricky.
Sure, just tell me.
We can mark in a minute for purposes of this hearing. I don't think that violates
That's
the
fine.
order.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
You want to admit these pictures for purposes of these hearing, Mr. Giacomo?
I do, Judge, and this has to be filed up under seal so that it can't be accessed for the record based on a federal court order, but for purposes of this hearing, we can.
Okay.
The bench discussion we had, I object to the admission of those pictures based on the bench discussion we had that they're irrelevant.
They'll be admitted for purposes of this hearing, and what I said at the bench, and I'll say again on the record, is just because I'm allowing the testimony in this deposition does not mean that that is an indicia that it's admissible or not admissible. At some point, whether they can get into this in the trial that we're about will have to be resolved by motion and argument.
Thank you.
They'll be admitted, and the plea bargain will be admitted for purposes of this hearing, but it will be sealed and kept in a sealed condition in this file by the clerk. Go ahead.
If I can approach.
It'll be Defense Exhibit A.
Mr. Mouton, do you recognize that document?
Yes.
Mr. Mouton, is that the plea agreement you entered into in your case in your federal case in San Francisco?
Yes.
Okay. Can you turn to page... Let's turn to the last page of that. Is that your signature on that document?
Yes.
Can you tell me what the date on that signature is?
7/27/06.
You're going to just move to admit it at this point?
It will be admitted for purposes of this hearing only. Again, that doesn't mean that it will or will not be admissible at trial. It's going to be sealed and kept in a sealed condition in this file.
You see how the motherfucking judge just interrupted the moment he caught him in a lie. And he not checking him. He not telling him that he committing perjury. You just said you didn't have you never, in the beginning he said that you already signed the plea deal, and he said, no. Now we got a date, 7/27. Then when we go back into it and we check him on it, see, that's strategy when the judge jump in and then go back into that. Purposes for, fuck all that. Why are you interrupting? Why are you not allowing this truth to come out? Why do you keep trying to stop the process, discombobulate every motherfucking body with I'm just going to let this for the record. This is here just for seal. You already said that it's sealed. You already did all that. And then when this motherfucker start back, he don't even go back to that. That's because not only is because he's inexperienced, because it's part of the motherfucker. He part of it. This shit is just show and tell. They not trying to get to the truth. They trying to fix it. And this is what's been going on the whole time. They are trying to fix it. Don't nobody want to correct it and respect the Constitution. You keep talking that shit about the Constitution. Well, let me tell you this. It's obvious. It's unconstitutional to be black because the shit don't apply to me. This is why these egregious violations is standing up in the manner that they are. You lying about summer of 06. We know I was in jail. We know the co-defendant was in jail summer of 05. Now you going into, you lying about your plea deal. It's a lie because we know 7/27/06 is when you made the deal, and now you testifying to get a plea deal. Y'all keep talking about the plea deal. You keep slipping saying the plea deal. When you say plea deal, that's you making a Napue violation because you sitting here and everybody is a part of the shenanigans. Look how the judge is talking to this motherfucker, how nice he trying to be, how he trying to walk him into saying the right things on the record. And since the record is so fucked up, the best thing that they can do, the only thing that they can do to hide the truth is to seal it. Because there's no other reason to seal the record. You are trying to hide the truth. The judge just did the big seal. He just suppressed the whole case when he said seal. In other words, he's suppressing the evidence. We're going to suppress this shit. Can't let this get out. Boy, this is why they don't like that nigga Lateef Gray. See? This is that type of shit. But in the end, it's going to work out. It's just that I know I got to be solid and ready for the battle because I know that there's an injustice on every level. Sneak. On every level. So I gotta be aware of that. You know what I mean? You never know what these motherfuckers gonna do. So I'm ready for whatever, man. I promise you that.